Well, one thing that should never go is the daily dish. Whether you're a vegetarian, flexitarian, or anything in between, here's a list of what you'll need for Chef Dev's delicious summer salad. Trust me, you're gonna wanna try it. All right, Dev, how do we start?
Okay, so Tracy, this is a really exciting dish. We're doing a falafel today, which is essentially chickpeas and herbs that we're gonna deep fry. But you know me, I'm gonna take it a few steps further. I'm often an advocate for going big or going home, so we have a lot of different things going on today. So before we even get to our chickpeas that have been soaked overnight, now I've soaked 2 cups, and if you're using dried chickpeas, you need to soak them overnight, otherwise this mixture is just not gonna work. By soaking them overnight, we're essentially cooking them halfway, and that's a very important step when you're making this falafel. But let's talk about some of the other components that we're gonna use for this incredible falafel salad that we're gonna make. So in this bowl here, I have tahina, which I hope many of you are familiar with. If you don't have tahina at home, you can toast off some white sesame seeds and blend it with olive oil. Now, I'm gonna drizzle the salad with this, but we wanna take this and take it a step further. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add an ingredient or two to it. The main ingredient that I wanna add today is an ingredient that I use called liquid smoke. Now, in a lot of my videos, I use this ingredient because working with food dudes and different people in the past, we had smokers in the kitchen, but it's not something that's necessarily practical at home unless you have space outside or you want your house to smell like smoke. In this case, in my parents' house, not a good idea. So I'm gonna put a few drops of liquid smoke into the tahina, and when you use too much of this, you're gonna know. This is essentially smoked wooden planks soaked in water. So it gives you that barbecue smoky flavor without having to actually go through all that trouble. And if you're someone who's vegetarian or vegan, it'll actually not make you feel like you're eating meat. That's not what I want to say. But it kind of gives you all those barbecue smoky notes that often vegetarians or vegans don't have access to. That's what I want to say. So already we have smoky tahina. We'll add in a bit of salt and we'll leave this. So that's one component done for our salad. Next, let's work on a pickling liquid. We're gonna pickle some cucumbers. And believe me, we'll get to the falafel, just bear with me. So we have apple cider vinegar going into a pot. I have some pickling spices, star anise, mustard seed, cinnamon. This is all in the recipe. We're gonna add in some sugar, and we're gonna add in some water. Now I'm gonna bring this to a gentle simmer, just so we allow the sugar to dissolve, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna add in some cucumber that I have here. Here's the cucumber, and I've sliced it. You slice it into the desired shape that you want, and then you can pickle it. Now we're gonna cool the pickling liquid down, and then the pickles will probably take half an hour to an hour in a warm pickling liquid. If you're not pickling a cucumber, carrot, beets, bok choy, onions, there's so many different things you can pickle. Now, onto the falafel, okay? I have all my ingredients here, and there's a respectable amount of ingredients, but this will all be available on Cityline's website with the recipe. So into my blender, I'm gonna add in the dried chickpeas. And this is one good way to do it at home. Hopefully we don't spill anything. And I'm gonna add in about 3/4 of the chickpeas. That's about 1.5 cups, okay? So I'm just holding back from 2 cups, yay amount. Now, as I like to say, everyone's jumping into the pool, okay? So we have 1 cup of parsley that's gonna go in. And I like to add more greens in my falafel than a lot of other recipes because I like when it's bright green. It does affect the binding of it and everything, but I just love when you bite into the falafel and then you see bright green through it. Little specks, very important. 1/2 cup of cilantro, and if you have mint at home or if you have more cilantro than parsley, please make it work how you like. A lot of cilantro could also be a little bit overpowering, so keep that in mind. Same with the mint. Better to go with a neutral green like parsley or scallions if you have it, something like that. To this as well, we're gonna add in 1/2 cup of red onion. I chopped more than I needed, so we have 1/2 cup of red onion. And now you might be asking me, Devin, why are some of these ingredients processed ahead of time? The reason why is because I'm not trying to puree and blend up this mixture completely. I still need to leave it a little bit coarse. If I don't have some of these ingredients pre-processed, they may not blend properly. So we're just giving this a little bit of a head start, okay? So I have like 10 cloves of chopped garlic here. I'm not gonna use it all, but I'm gonna use a good amount. So we have like about good 5 cloves of garlic going in there. To this as well, I have sesame seeds, baking powder, and baking soda, which I'm gonna fold into the mixture after. I also added into here a spice blend. It's cumin, coriander, and cinnamon and chili powder. So big flavors going into there. And then what's gonna happen is I'm gonna blend this, but I'm gonna blend it during the break off camera because I don't want you to have to sit here for 30 seconds, 45 seconds while I'm blending away, okay? Another component for our dish, because we need more components. We're gonna make a lemon vinaigrette. So to make this lemon vinaigrette, I'm gonna squeeze in a bit of lemon juice into a bowl, just like this, probably a few tablespoons or so. And this is a very vibrant dish. So you see all these different things, the pickled cucumber, the falafel, the tomato. It's very exciting, it's very refreshing, it's very summery. When I look outside right now, what do I see? I see falafel salad, okay? That's what I see out there. In this bowl, we have our lemon juice. Get a rag, we're gonna wipe down the cutting board, and we're gonna work neat and clean. Into this, we're gonna add in some Dijon mustard. I'm gonna add in a little bit of sucre. We have a little bit of sugar. Salt is somewhere. I'm gonna find the salt. So we have Dijon, sugar, and I'll add in some salt after. So what we're gonna do is a little bit more lemon juice actually. Let's not be shy here. Let's whisk this together. We're gonna make a vinaigrette by hand. This should not be going there. If I was watching myself on camera, I'd be like, dude, get it together. You don't just put lemon back on the counter, okay? So wipe this all down. Don't be like Chef Dev. Be nice and neat. Gonna whisk this together. And now we are going to make a vinaigrette from scratch. What you can do is you can wet this, make a ring, sit this bowl in the ring or on shelf lining so it doesn't move. I simply like to just press it against my stomach here, and I can slowly drizzle in with one hand while pushing, and I can whisk. And we want to create what's an emulsification. I've talked about this so many times on Cityline, but people still ask me. So an emulsification is us bringing together two liquids that don't normally go together, like fat and acid, right? And in this case, we're using oil and lemon juice. So we're simply gonna whisk this together slowly and hopefully, eventually, with a little bit of salt, it's gonna make a really exciting lemon vinaigrette. Now you have the Dijon, it adds some pungency, some body, some depth to this vinaigrette. We have the salt that's obviously gonna season it, that we're gonna add soon. And then the oil is gonna make it nice and thick and dressing-like. The lemon is obviously gonna bring a lot of that vibrancy. So you can see when this whole dish comes together with all the different components, it's gonna be exciting.
I think it's time for us to finish off that daily dish. It's looking amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, so basically what we have is here's the batter that I made before. You see it's crumbly and it's holding its shape. So essentially what we do is we just deep fry it, and I've been deep frying behind me. Here are some finished versions that I've made. So you can see the shape that they are, the color that they are. What we're gonna do is take our lemon vinaigrette. I always love putting vinaigrettes in a squeeze bottle. We're gonna squeeze this over our salad dressing. Squeeze the salad dressing over our salad. This goes into the middle of the bowl, just like this. Yeah, then we're gonna take some tomato, red onion. If the red onion is too strong for you, just rinse it under some water. That's a tip that I learned making ceviche in Peru. Let's not forget our quickles, also known as quick pickles. Put some of those down, just like this. This is looking amazing. Who comes up with this stuff? I love it. Down here, we're gonna add our falafel. And then lastly, we're gonna drizzle it with our smoked tahina. Let me make sure that you have a really good spot here that you can see. The tahina that has been smoked, we're gonna take this and drizzle this all over. Lastly, because I like making pretty food, we're gonna add in a little bit of edible flour that I just had left over, totally optional. If you want, and there's some safe ones to eat in your garden, you can use those. Falafel salad, you stay right there. Falafel salad, made by Chef Dev. I want everyone out there to make it this year, okay?
That is absolutely gorgeous.